What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Commander deck tech video, and this time I want to take a look at another newer Commander option. Lonis Cryptozoologist, a 2 mana, green and blue, Snake Elf Scout, a 1/2. This is from Modern Horizons 2. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you get to investigate, which that just means you can create a clue token. Clue tokens, you can pay 2 mana, sacrifice them, and then you draw a card, which has never really been that great. It's not awful, but it's not something you'll look forward to creating as far as tokens go. But we have a commander now that can actually take advantage of them. So you have a tap ability here, sacrifice X clues. Target opponent reveals the top X cards of their library. You may put a non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield under your control. That player puts the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order. So this is really cool. This is a fun ability that if we're able to take advantage of getting a ton of clue tokens, and not just that, if we're able to untap our commander over and over again while also creating a ton of clue tokens, it means that we can just steal everything from our opponents until they have nothing good left in their library, which is about as close to a win con as we can really get with this deck, and I think that's still good enough. So looking over the creatures here, we have a lot of mana dorks here because we want to get to something good on turn 2. Never really hurts that after the fact, after we play our commander, we have turn 1 creatures that will trigger our commander and give us clues. So that's a worst case scenario there, but we have Arbor Elf, we have Birds of Paradise, Elvish Mystic, Finhorn Elves, and Llanowar Elves. Now we do have a couple creatures in here that serve a purpose of just getting us more clue tokens. Shrieking Drake is a 1 mana creature that comes into play and triggers, we return a creature we control to our hand. So we could just keep returning it to our hand, and for 1 blue mana we can pretty much just get a clue token. Dreamstalker serves the same exact purpose. It enters, you return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. And then we have Coiling Oracle just so that we can speed up our deck. Not only will we get a clue token off of this, but we will also get a land card off the top of our library and put it into play. If not, we just put it into our hand. And then we have Erdwall Illuminator. These are really cool cards, and I like it whenever we see a commander that can take advantage of just bulk uncommons, bulk rares, and cards that would otherwise be useless because we haven't really had any sort of commander that can take advantage of them. But whenever you investigate for the first time each turn, you investigate an additional time. So I hope you love token doublers because that's a big theme in this deck as well. So we're going to get double the clues here, and we have other ways of getting even more clues, making it easier to activate our commander's ability. We have Sakura Tribe Elder, we have Academy Manufacturer, or Manufactor. If you would create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create one of each. So this will actually give you treasure tokens. I think that's very cool. Just a way to get more mana off of our commander. We have Eternal Witness, part of a combo in here, but at the bare minimum we can use it to get whatever we need from our graveyard to our hand. We have Reclamation Sage for removal. We have Tireless Tracker. Whenever a land enters, we investigate. And whenever we sack a clue, she gets a +1/+1 counter. We have Wood Elf, so we can go and get a forest. We have Adrix and Nev Twin Casters, so that's a big part of the deck here. We want to take advantage of clues, we want to get double our clues. That way we can really just activate our commander, and several other things that can take advantage of artifacts or tokens. And then we have Archaeomancer, also part of a combo. You probably already guessed what that combo is, but it's going to involve getting infinite ETBs with Peregrine Drake here at the bottom. It enters, it untaps 5 lands, pretty much a free creature, allowing you to, if you have some sort of displace, Ghostly Flicker, with Archaeomancer on the stack, you'll just get it back to your hand, and then you can keep blanking both of them. So we have Beast Whisperer for card draw. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. We have Teamer Sabertooth, another good way that we can just constantly bounce a creature back to our hand and replay it. Maybe not an infinite, but Teamer Sabertooth will help us get more ETBs. We have Thassa Deep Dwelling, basically a Conjurer's Closet on a creature. At the end step, we exile a creature and we bring it back. And we have Urza Lord High Artificer. Now this is also pretty cool. We can tap our clues for blue mana, which is also part of a combo. If we're able to just produce a ton of blue mana, it really doesn't matter what else we're able to do, because we just have a myriad of ways of winning. And then we have Mull Drifter, draw 2 cards on ETB. We have Wave Sifter. When it enters the battlefield, we investigate twice, so we get 2 clue tokens. We could evoke it for 2 mana. We have Deadeye Navigator, just in case, if the other combo isn't good enough, we can then soul bond this to our Peregrine Drake or really any other good ETB creature, and then go infinite that way. And then we have Shimmer Dragon. As long as we control 4 or more artifacts, it has hexproof, which is nice. We can tap 2 of our untapped artifacts we control to draw a card. So that right there is pretty ridiculous. This card is so underrated too, because it gives itself protection and you get pretty easy card draw. We have 5 sorceries in here. We have Rise and Shine to also take advantage of all of our clue tokens. If we overload it for 6 mana, we turn all of them into artifact creatures with 4+1/+1 counters on them. We have 3 visits to get a land, Bala Ged Recovery to return a card from our graveyard to our hand. We have Cultivate to search up some lands, and we have Root Out. So we destroy target artifact or enchantment, and we investigate. So it's investigate themed. And then we have our instants. We have Confront the Unknown. We investigate for 1 green mana instant speed, and then a creature gains +1/+1 until end of turn for each clue we control. We have Rapid Hybridization for removal. We have Cyclonic Rift. We have Heroic Intervention to protect our board. We have Beast Within for more removal. We have Displace and Ghostly Flicker. I already talked about those. Great way to combo with our Peregrine Drake. We have Second Harvest. For each token we control, we create a token that's a copy of that permanent, so we have a way of doubling our clue token's instant speed. And then we have Confirm Suspicions. We're not playing a ton of counter spells in here. This one I think is just awesome because if we counter a spell, we investigate 3 times, which does meet the cost for our commander's ability. And then we have our artifacts. We have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. We have Idol of Oblivion. We can tap it to draw a card, but only if we created a token this turn. Can also sacrifice it for a massive 10/10 Eldrazi. We have Lightning Greaves to make it easier to tap our commander. We have Inspiring Statuary. I think in this kind of deck, this is essential. This is a must-have. Non-artifact spells you cast have Improvise, so you can tap your clue tokens to pay for the generic mana of the cards that you're playing. So your non-artifacts are so much easier to play because of this. And you could of course tap Inspiring Statuary itself. Magnifying Glass is a 3 mana rock, but really in here because we can pay 4 mana and tap it to investigate. We have 1,000 Year Elixir, again to make it easier to tap our commander earlier on, but we can also pay a mana and tap it to untap our commander. We have Panharmonicon, just to, Panharmonicon, we double the ETBs. And we have Conjurer's Closet, we have Tamiyo's Journal. At the beginning of our upkeep, we investigate, and we can also tap this to sacrifice 3 clues and search our library for a card, put that card into our hand. So it's a Demonic Tutor on an activated ability if we have 3 clues out there to sacrifice. That right there is pretty ridiculous considering that it stays out on the field. And then we have Great Henge, or the Great Henge I should say, just an awesome engine, taps for 2 green mana, we gain 2 life, and whenever non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, we put a counter on it and we draw a card. So gonna give us extra mana, gonna give us extra card draw, gonna do a little bit of everything. And then we have our enchantments. These are really cool because a lot of them are specifically designed around the investigate mechanic. So ongoing investigation, whenever 1 or more creatures we control deals combat damage to a player, we investigate, and we can pay 2 mana to exile a creature card from our graveyard to investigate, and we gain 2 life. We have Fleeting Memories. It enters, we investigate, and whenever we sack a clue, target player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. We have Freed from the Real, of course, and we have Pemin's Aura to do pretty much the same exact thing if we have Urza out there. It really isn't difficult to throw this onto our commander. We have Intruder Alarm to kind of just be more of the same. If we're constantly able to bounce back something like that Shrieking Drake, and we have a Birds of Paradise out there, we should be able to just go off and tap our commander to sack those clues. So it's a fun little combo here. It's not super competitive, but it's just something that's going to make it easier for you to win. We have Rhystic Study, of course, to get more card draw. We have Trail of Evidence. Whenever we cast an instant or sorcery spell, we investigate. We have Uvenwald Mysteries. Whenever a non-token creature we control dies, we investigate, and whenever we sack a clue, we get a 1/1 human soldier creature token. We have Weirding Wood. Enters the battlefield, we investigate, and the enchanted land has tapped to add 2 mana of any 1 color to our pool. We have Guardian Project. Whenever a non-token creature enters, we draw a card. We have Mechanized Production, another win con, because we just throw this onto 1 of our clues. We throw this onto 1 of our clue artifact tokens, and then upkeep time, if we have 8 or more of them, we just win. And of course we have Parallel Lives. It does drive up the cost of the deck, but I think it's well worth it, considering it's just going to make it easier for you to win if you have more clue tokens. We also have the Dragon that can tap clue tokens to draw cards, so it's definitely worth it for me. Our lands, we have some utility lands here. Alchemist Refuge, just to give our non-land cards flash. We also have Minamo's School at Water's Edge, so that we can untap our commander. And then we have Reliquary Tower, but the rest is just your typical mana fixing. in blue and green. So anyway, let me know what you think about Lonis Cryptozoologist. I think this is a pretty cool commander. If you're like me, you just have a ton of these cards that have just been useless for so long from Shadows over Innistrad, and you've been looking for an excuse to play them. You've been looking for something to do with them. Now we actually have a commander that will allow us to play them. So as always, if you liked the video, subscribe, like, comment, share. The link to the deck will be in the description below. You all have a wonderful day. Void here signing off. See you all next time.